Good morning students. Welcome to today's class. Today we will start chapter 3 more about MS Access. We have done chapter 2, so this is a continuation of chapter 2 more about MS Access. So let's start. Why MS Access is used? MS Access. So let's recall whatever we have learned in previous chapter. So what is MS Access? MS Access is a database management system, RDBMS. So what is database? Database is a organized collection of data stored on a computer. Stored on a computer that can be accessed, updated, queried with a database software. Database management system is a software used to create, manage the database. So let's start more about MS Access. So MS Access is a type of RDBMS. It is a special type of database management system where data is stored in related tables. So the main object of MS Access are tables. So let's start chapter 3 more about MS Access. Now one activity is given here. So students, take out your book, open page number 38. One activity is given here. It is related to the previous chapter, chapter 2. So you have to do this activity. So this is your homework. You have to complete the activity given on page number 38. Next, what is a query? Query means you can ask any doubts. So suppose you are asking any question, that is query. So query, you are asking some questions, the doubt, that is query. In database, query is a database object which allows you to display specific records. It allows to display specific records from a table or from two or more linked tables, often based on a condition. So query is based on a condition which displays specific records. So it is two more linked tables. For example, suppose we have a database table that contains the results of all the students from classes 1 to 12. We want to view the records of only those students who have secured more than 90% mark. For this, we can design a query that will extract the records of only those students who have secured 90% or more marks. The extracted records will be stored in a separate table known as query table. So in the previous chapter, chapter 2, we have learned to create, edit tables in database. So let us know how to create simple queries to extract and display the related tables. So MS Access, creating query. So MS Access provides 4 types of queries: select query, update query, cross-tab query, append query. Here we will learn to create the simplest type of query, the select query, using the simple query wizard. So how many types of query you can create? Select, update, cross-tab and append. So here we will use how to use the simple query, select query. So creating query on a single table. So the query wizard allows us to create a query object based on a single table or multiple tables through simple steps. Here we will learn to create a query that displays only the names of students and their addresses from the student table. So the steps are: open the required database and click on the create tab. In the queries group, click on query wizard button. So in the queries group, click on the query wizard button. Now you see the new query dialog box will open. Select the simple query wizard option and click on the OK button. Now the simple query wizard dialog box open. Click on the tables query drop down arrow and select the table you want for the query from the table drop down list. You can see from the table drop down list. Here we have selected the student table. So here we have selected student table. select the student name field from the available fields. So select the student name field from the available fields section, click on the greater than button to transfer it from the selected field section. So click on this button, that is greater than sign button, to transfer into the selected field section. Now similarly, transfer the field address also into the selected field section and click on the next button. So similarly, transfer the field address. Now you have selected the name, then transfer the field address into the selected field, then next. In the next step, enter a name for a query and select the open query to view the information option, then click on finish. The query result will be displayed. You can see the query result will be displayed in the right pane in the form of query table. You can see the query result in the right pane in the form of table. It is written Paras Gupta W123, all the name of the students and their address, everything, student name and address has been displayed. The query of the result will be displayed in the right pane in the form of query table. Now the query result will be displayed in the right pane in the form of query table. Query icon in the navigation pane. If the query table is closed, you can double click to open the query. Suppose it is closed, you can double click to open the query. You can see the query. Now creating query on multiple tables. How you can create multiple tables? We can also create query on multiple tables. To create a query that draws data from two or more tables, we first make a link together by setting up a relationship between them. So you can set a relationship between them. So here we will learn to set a relationship between two tables, student table and marks table we have created in our database. So two table has been created, one is student table, one is mark table. Now creating a query on multiple tables. So setting relationship between tables. When we link one table to the other table on the basis of primary key. I have told you primary key is a unique key. It is called setting a relationship. Like you can take your admission number as a primary key. That is unique for every student. That should not be repeated. That we can make a primary key. Once we have defined a relationship between the tables, data from both the tables can be used as queries. The steps to set a relationship between multiple tables of a database are as follows. Open both the tables in the database window. Click on the database tools tab. In the relationship group, click on the relationship button. Now the relationship window appears with the show table dialog box. You can see here in the show table dialog box, select a query. Click on the add button to add in the relationship window. Repeat the procedure to add more tables. Suppose you want to add more tables, repeat the procedure to add more tables in the relationship window as needed. Now again you want more fields, then you will repeat the procedure. Click on close button when done. Drag the primary key of one table and drop it over the primary key field in the selected table. In the edit relationship, click on the create button to create the relationship. A line linking the two tables will appear. You can see the line appears showing that both of them have been linked. Both the tables has been linked. So the line, the two tables, click on the save button on the quick access toolbar to save the relationship. So now click on the save button on the quick access toolbar to save the relationship. Now say you have clicked the save button on the quick access toolbar to tip. You can close the relationship window by clicking on its close button on the document tab bar. So creating query on multiple tables. Now deleting a relationship. After a relationship has been created between two tables, we must delete the relationship before making any modification to the fields. on which the relationship is based. So the steps to delete a relationship are, so what are the steps to delete a relationship are, after the relationship has been created between tables, we must delete the relationship before making the modification of the fields. So what are the steps to delete any relationship? Open the database where you have defined the relationship. If not already open, click on the database tools tab. In the relationship group, click on the relationship button. Now the relationship window will display the linked tables. You can see both the tables. Bring the mouse pointer on the linking. From the shortcut menu, choose the delete option. You will right click and you will get delete option. So are you sure you want to delete? Confirmation message will come. Click on yes button. The relationship will get deleted. No more line will be visible. Now creating query on related tables. After defining the relationship between two tables, we can create a query taking fields from both the tables. Here we will extract data from the tables, present the information in the form of query table. So the steps are how you can delete, creating on query on related tables. Open the database containing the link field. In the queries group, click on the query wizard button. Open the new query window that appears. Select multiple query wizard option, then click on OK button. Second step over, the simple query window will appear. You can see the simple query window will appear. This is the window. We can see this is the simple query window. From the tables and queries drop down list, select the students list. Select the field student ID, student name for the field and transfer from the selected fields section by clicking on the arrow button one by one. So you can click on the arrow button one by one. Similarly, select the marks table. Similarly, you can select the marks table from the tables queries drop down list and transfer the fields marks, 100, math, science, then English, all the marks, social studies into the selected field section. You can select one mark and click on next button. You can click on next button. In the next step, select the detail which shows every field of every record and click on OK button. Enter a name for your query. Here we are giving it name marks. Then click on the select option. Open the query to view the information. Click on finish button to close the simple query window. In the query table will be displayed in the database window with the selected fields from both the tables. Close the query table. Notice that an icon will be created on the database window for the query table by the name marks. You can double click on the marks statement query object to execute it and see the results of the query anytime in future. Tip: if you have selected the modify the query design option in the last step, the query would open in design view. To delete a query, just select it from the navigation pane and press the delete key. Click the yes button in the confirmation box and the query table will be sent to the recycle bin. Now creating query in design view. How you can create query in design view? The design view gives more control over creating a query. So the steps to create a query in design view are: open the required database, open the create tab in the queries group, click on the query design button. Now in the design view for creating the query will open, displaying the show table dialog box. Add the tables to the design view. whose data you want to include in the query by selecting the tables and clicking on add button. When done, click on close button to close show table dialog box. Double click on the required fields from both the tables to include them in the query. Specify criteria if required. Suppose any criteria is there. So here we are not specifying any criteria. We just combining the selective fields of two tables to create a query table. So we'll learn to give a criteria. So how to give a criteria? Creating a query in design view. Now the save dialog box appear. Type a name of your query. This time give a name, query 1, and click on OK button to save the query. So double click on the query icon in the navigation pane on the database window to execute it and see the output. So you can delete a query object by selecting it into the database window by pressing delete key from the keyboard. Now specifying simple criteria in a query. So how you can specify simple criteria? In the design view, as we have seen, the query window is divided into two panes. The top pane displays the table selected for the query and the bottom pane displays the design grid with a number of rows. We can use the criteria row of the design grid to specify a condition. So the data will get filtered according to the specified criteria in the query output. So the data will be given to specify in the query output. This is given in page number 43. So what are the steps? So let us set a new condition in the field of maths to make sure that the query table displays only those records where the marks obtained in maths are either equal to or greater than 80. The steps are given below. So the steps are given below. Open the required database. First open the required database and open the query table created in the previous section in the design view. Same table open. Under the field maths in the criteria row, enter condition greater than equal to 80 as shown. Suppose save the changes made to the query table by clicking save button to the quick access toolbar and close the design view. Double click on the query icon in the navigation pane to run the query. MS Access allows you to set multiple conditions in the same combined by and or operators or different fields in a query. So you will learn about this later on. So one more activity given on page number 44. So this is your homework. You have to do the activity given on page number 44. The next class we will discuss about forms. What is a form? What are the components of form? And what are the creating a report using the report wizard. So next class we will discuss about form. First let me give a quick review. What is a form? You must have seen a form. You must have seen fill in the blanks form, online forms. You are giving online examinations. So form is a graphical representation of a table. We can add and update records in our table by using a form. Although a form can have different name from the table it is based on, but they both will manipulate the same information and same extract data. Hence, if we change a record in a form, it will be changed in the table as well. So next class we will discuss what are the components of form. Your homework is you have to write let's recall and terms to learn of chapter 3 in your notebook, and 2 activity that is related to the previous chapter, activity given in page number 44 and activity given on page number 38 you have to do in book. So that's all for today. See you in next class. And students, you have to write terms to learn, and let's recall of chapter 3. That's all. See you in next class.